Yeah, can I talk about old sets? When was it out? 2017. You sure? Okay, yeah. Sorry, I was talking to my producer. How about a video that should have been released 3 years ago? Yes, we could all use some good news right now. The world is kind of going through some stuff, and we could all kind of use a big distraction. This being a TCG channel, but mainly a Weiss Schwarz channel, I wanted to make a fun video that isn't another deck profile or just more news. And with that being said, I do want to introduce one of my favorite sets of all time. No, not Nisekoi. Not Haruhi. Woozer's a close third. I'm actually talking about the Milky Holmes Fan Fun Party Pack. This was an extra booster set that was released in 2017. It was only available during the 2017 Shirokuro Festival. The set is covering the Christmas special of Milky Holmes, which is honestly one of the funniest Christmas specials ever, and Milky Holmes in general is pretty damn funny. If you have yet to see Milky Holmes, you're doing a big disservice to yourself not checking it out. By all means, please go watch it. It's super good. Anyways, if you have followed my channel around the beginning, like when I first started, like 2017-ish, 2018, I have covered a good amount of these cards in my Card of the Day series that I used to have, and those videos are now lost in time because, oh my god, they're super embarrassing. If you think my videos are rough now, those are like sandpaper. Anyways, Milky Holmes, the fan fun pop, the set. Anyways, this set is not legal for tournament play. This is a joke set, and each card is actually labeled with a joke marker. This indicates that it's not a real tournament legal card, and it cannot be used in any deck. This is a parody set. Think of it kind of like the unglued set of Magic the Gathering, and the cards owned by Imakuni in Pokemon. It really is fitting that the series that takes part in the joke set is Milky Holmes, cause that is a fun, jokey series in itself, and you know, it makes sense. You can't take Milky Holmes too seriously, like, at all. As mentioned before, this is an extra booster set. It contains 60 cards. There are signed cards, super rares, and all that stuff, plus all the cards are parallel foils as well. And this set actually contains 6 cards that are tournament legal, and they're actually kind of good in Milky Holmes. It's the main cast plus Arsene and Kokoro. But we're not going to talk about those cards, my man. I'm going to pick 5 cards from each color that I consider to be my personal favorites, and after the video, I do suggest that you go check out the full set if you want a good chuckle. Now, this video style is going to be different from everything else because there are kind of no high quality scans of the cards. The only available scans are the ones that were shown on the Card of the Day, and that was actually back in 2017, which I actually still had saved in my computer, so thank you, computer. So with that, some of the cards are actually screen grabs from the Weiss Schwarz website, so just a heads up, sorry for the archaic quality on some of the cards. And yes, there is a whole QandA section for this set, and there are some sample deck lists. I'll put a link to that stuff in the description. And with that, let's start with yellow. We're going to start off with the Climax combo, Big Eater Nero. She gains X power depending on how many snacks you have eaten today, and Climax combo. On attack, if you have snack time in play, you can pay the cost, which is you eat a snack that is next to your stock, and if you pay the cost, you can place any number of snacks from your pockets to your stock. The Climax is a snack stock soul, where the snacks come out of your pockets. So you play the Climax, you get a snack into your stock, and all your characters gain a soul. So on attack, you can eat a snack, and then you place as many snacks as you can next to your stock. It's kind of busted there, plus this does gain an extra 1k. I would suggest cargo pants, that way you could stock charge as much as you can. There's no limit to how many snacks you could throw into your stock. Did I lose you all yet? Excellent Detective Neto lets you pay 1 and declare a number between 0 and 3. Top check your deck and add it to hand if it is the same level as the number declared. If not, you place it back and laugh it off. Climaxes are considered a level 0. You can spam this, which is pretty good, so you can pay 1, and if you don't hit, you can pay 1 again and hit the card. Also, the laughing off is mandatory. You need to laugh. Be careful, because there are people that will rule shark you there. Drowsy Nero states that if you have slept less than 7 hours last night, this card cannot stand, and during your opponent's turn, whenever a loud sound occurs, stand this card. Unfortunately for me, this card will not be standing like at all. I usually get about 5 to 6 hours of sleep per night. It's just how I function. I know it's nothing to be proud of, but for a 3k body, it isn't bad if your sleep schedule is good. Promise Weekend Cheryl coming as a level 13 cost event. Oh, okay. And for each different trait in your waiting room, this loses a level and a cost. During your opponent's next turn, gain control of your opponent, then your opponent gains an additional turn. You need to have at least 10 different traits in your waiting room to even play this card, but taking control of your opponent is pretty busted. You can get rid of all their stock, dump their hand, take their car, steal their money, refinance their home, do their taxes, mess up with their board state. You know, typical Weiss Schwarz stuff. Here's the last card in yellow, and honestly my favorite card in the whole set. Cheryl. Yes, she has 15 soul and a soul when triggered. Anyways, when Super Excited is played in your climax area, if this is in your center stage or your front row, on attack, front attack all of your opponent's characters, and you proceed for each step per attack. The climax states that you must say ha 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 ha, and be sure to enunciate, and a shot, wind, and a gate when triggered. Unfortunately, the climax does not give any power, but this is still pretty damn good. Completely forget about those restands. I am gonna say you're gonna be canceling a lot with this card because 15 soul, that is a lot of cards that are gonna be revealed. This is less of going for a kill and more of a I don't know what came over me. I mean, it's sort of like a disruption card because it does go for all of your opponent's characters. Now we're going off to green, starting with a present from the Sage Ellie. On play heal, and if you and your opponent both agree, you can exchange unopened packets of Weiss Schwarz cards. Man, fuck the cards, someone help her. New Year's Wish Kazumi states that if this card is revealed as part of your damage process, you can say cancel, and you can cancel the damage, and then you ditch a card from your hand. So in a way, you're kind of running extra copies of Climaxes in your deck. It's good, but useless when it's not in the deck. Wait, hold up, is this a Vanguard reference? Here is End System is Great Saki. She is a clock salvage brainstorm where you rest this card and you click like on a tweet from @Milky Holmes. Well, that's a way to get more Twitter followers. Risky Comment Sugiko is on play. You and 3 other players can pose together and say G4. If so, all players who pose draw 4 cards. You need to find at least 3 players. It's not up to 3. It's mandatory to find 3 more players. Draw 4, pretty good, but your opponent can jump into the pose, so you will kind of be helping him out there. But you could also be nice and just help everybody around you. Alright, lightning round. My essay set Ellie is a QR code that sends you over to the official Milky Holmes fan club. Green Keg lets you draw 2 cards, and with that, cue the joke that has been beaten to death.
But what does it do?
Thank you. Narrating Alice gets 500 forward, and on play, if you have a shaved head, you can blind stock too. God damn it, me and my beautiful locks will not be running this card. AED is a climax that states you can only have 1 copy of this card in your deck, and when you think it's getting bad, you can ditch this card, and if you do, choose a card in your level zone and send it to the waiting room. At the start of the end phase of your next turn, you lose the game. Oh man, you're given 2 extra turns to try and bounce back, but if you don't, you lose automatically. Again, you don't play the climax, you just ditch it from your hand. I like this a lot. Now we're off to the reds. Remember earlier when I said we're gonna keep it to 5 cards? I completely glossed over that, but you know, whatever. Multiple challenge Cheryl is on attack. While remaining seated, you sing and dance the hook to one of your favorite songs, and if you do, burn 5. But be careful of noise, and this damage can be canceled. Okay, we could do that. Backtracking the yellow, we have Can't Stop Calling Your Name Cheryl, who is a 3K backup where the cost is you say Kokoro-chan. And here is a counter to the counter where you say don't call me Kokoro-chan when your opponent says Kokoro-chan and you give a character 3K. Yes, I fucking love this set so much. Here's the IQ of the time Kokoro, where you declare any number you like and this card's power and IQ becomes the declared number. So the power gain is actually permanent, so you just say a huge number and you won't be run over that easily. Now that is a big brain play, you know, real galaxy brain strategy. Side note, the power of this card is actually 2016 power, and the year the special was released was 2016. Use that information for whatever you want. Let's Karuto states that if you are level 1 or lower, call over one of your friends who is not playing in this game to be the reader. If you do, this game is over and you start a game of Karuta. Cards that you do not want damaged or would cause problems if ownership gets mixed up should be put away before Karuta begins. I don't really know who wins in the situation when the game just ends. I think it's the person with the least amount of damage. But yeah, the game just ends and you start a completely different game. Like literally a completely different game. If you don't know what Karuta is, Google it. I explain TCGs, trading card games, not traditional card games. Whew, man, I got out of that one. I actually have no idea how to play Karuta. Editor, cut this part out. Here's the climax that can only be played if you have the cards Cli and Max. Get it? When you play both cards on stage, you play rock, paper, scissors until someone wins. If you win, you take an additional turn. Otherwise, proceed to the end phase. So if you lose, you completely skip your battle phase and your encore step as well. Here's a card that might go over some people's heads. In High Spirits, Kokoro states that after your attack phase, proceed to the final phase. And at the start of your final phase, you can play this card from your hand to the climax zone. During your final phase, when you play this card in your climax zone, if no player has a character in their front row center slots, you can pay 4, burn 4. This damage cannot be cancelled or negated. It's a buddy fight card. This card was actually my first introduction to buddy fight, and then they released the Girls Band Pico set, and that's when I went deep into it. Can't even tell, right there. Lastly is Big Police of Yokohama, a level 4 3-cost character with 15k power. If this is in your front row center slot, this gains the following 2 abilities. During your turn, this gains 11k power, and on attack, you trigger check 3 times. Now this is a Vanguard card. They actually even added the triple drive icon on the top left. Last color set, and we are going to blue. Infernal Beauty states that when this is sent to the waiting room, you can wrap yourself in a towel and you can encore this card. We recommend using a bath towel for this effect. Gee, thanks for the helpful tip. Searching for Gyoza Cordelia is on play from hand. Your next dinner will be gyoza, and brainstorm pay 1. For each card with the gyoza icon milled, draw 2, ditch 1. Yes, that is right. There are cards with a gyoza icon. You probably didn't notice, but here is one, and it's kind of a special one. Garden Cordelia. No, not that one. On play from hand, you heal up to 2 and you give a character 3k. And at the start of your encore step, you set this to your memory. Yes, it is literally the event that has been banned for about forever. It's currently unbanned, but when this set came out, this card was actually banned. And yes, it has 1225 power because that is the date of Christmas. Unforeseen Circumstances is literally a black hole. You pop everything on the field. It kind of even looks like it. Here's a card that you can use to get the level 4 Kokoro out. Rival Arsenius states that on play, both players top check up to 4, then you play the characters revealed on separate slots on their stage, and you ditch the rest. Like I said, you could effectively get the 4-3 Kokoro on the field, and then you could spit in the face of God while you're at it. The last card in today's video is the Climax #1 Renowned Detectives of Yokohama. When this is played in your climax zone, you can dance to the hook of Sekai wa Hitotsu Janai, and if you do, you can target a character and they get the following effect for the turn. When the trigger check of this card is a climax, the next damage this card deals cannot be cancelled. If it is not a climax, you burn 3 to yourself. I hate this card so much. I mean, you know, I love it because it's on the list, but I hate this card because it's such a fucking gamble, but the payoff, oh, it's so good. You are most likely to burn yourself, but hey, if you don't want to get burned, don't play with fire. And if I do play this card, which I actually do think I have a copy of, I could be wrong, I gotta check. I'm gonna dance to the Bang Dream cover of Sekai wa Hitotsu Janai because that song is fire. You get it? Play with fire, burn. This card burns. Thank you, I'll be here all week. And with that, we've covered all of my favorite cards of the Milky Holmes Fan Fun Party Pack. This video was a bit odd, but like I said, we could all use a good laugh in these times, and hopefully this little video was a good way to keep your spirits up, keep in contact with your friends and family, ask them how they're doing, practice social distancing, wash your hands, wear a mask if you gotta go outside. And with that, thank you all for watching. Did you find the set as amusing as I did? What cards are your favorite in the set, and what set is kind of just your favorite in general? There are a good amount of cards with funny and interesting effects that are tournament legal and actually in good sets, and I'm actually considering covering a good amount of those cards maybe in a later video. I do have a list being compiled right now, and there's going to be a lot more modern cards on that list because that's what I have to work with right now. Whenever I see a good card on like a card of the day, I throw it on the list. And with that, don't forget to subscribe for more Weiss Schwarz news and content. Like the video because it helps, and comment because it does help the most. Follow me on Twitter for shit posts. Follow me on Coffee for a blog of the channel. And if you want to help and support, stay safe, and I will see y'all in the next video. I am losing my voice right now.